All right, what's happening, y'all? Here on the Thursday. Oh shit. Here on the Thursday evening, let me turn this crap off. This is on the USA Today website. Okay, get that closed.
Are
And
we
I do
on
not
the
know
air?
what's going on. Okay, let's try it again.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So here on the Thursday, here on the Thursday. Hope y'all have had a great week. We've been gone for a little while, but we're back in the building. Word on the Ave. I'm Corey. Y'all want to introduce yourselves?
Social distancing. This is Lauren. Good evening.
What's good, man? It's your boy Randy. Yeah, it's your boy Randy. I ain't giving you my AKAs right now, but yeah.
All right. So get this,
So
get this, um, get this shit shared, man, and let's get into it, man. So you know, you see the title, you see what it says. Um, Shit, the U.S. man, we leading the country, man. The whole coronavirus. I don't know. I know they don't want us to say it, but whatever, man. Y'all push
just,
this if y'all
just,
want
just,
us. You know
just,
what I'm
just say that
saying?
Rona.
Beat the algorithm or whatnot. Hey, push it. But we number one now. We've topped China. We've topped all the shit that's going on in Italy. I think Spain has high
Mm-hmm.
numbers. Of all of them, U.S. is surprisingly number one. Surprisingly number one.
This is America.
We're now at 5,000 deaths, over 200,000, over 200,000 infected. Um, and just came out that it hit 1,000 people died Wednesday. 1,000 people succumbed to this on Wednesday. It's a lot going on. It's changed the way everybody. It's changed everybody's. Everybody's quality of life. I mean, even if you still, I'm still working. You know, where I'm at is considered essential business. I know other people are, but there's millions and millions. The majority of the country is at home and at the mercy, especially if you're not prepared, which
Mm-hmm.
most people aren't. They're at the mercy of the U.S. government. Uh, that's just a. It's not a conspiracy or anything like that. That's just the cold-hearted fact. Cold hard facts. Waiting on check of 1,200 check
Check on this
that's
shit.
been passed through. Um, of course, you had the 2 trillion that was authorized by the Federal Reserve to be dumped into the economy. So that's definitely gonna bring inflation eventually. There's been all type of theories about what this could be. You've heard it all from of course, and I'm gonna call everything a theory, even just because mainstream doesn't mean it's true. Mainstream's probably the last thing you should be fucking listening to. Um, they tell us it come from bats. Tell us it came from bats. Um, you hear it could be possibly be 5G. What else? It's all type of different theories, and this is the time where discernment is needed. And you should try to study as much as possible. But one thing I want to ask the people, and I want to ask my colleagues, man, at, are we at war? Has war been declared upon not just the people of America? It's amazing that we're number one and we hit number one so fast. Now it's been around. This coronavirus has been around for
For a
two
while.
months now.
Yeah.
It's been around for 2 months.
This one.
It's
Yeah,
been
let's see this one.
documented here in America for 2 months. I know a lot of people, they saying y'all they knew about they talked about it. They know that it's been around for 2 months, but like I said, just started in early March is when it hit emergency status. Um, I I mean we've talked, man. I've talked ad nauseum about this. Um, talked about I gave you the history back in gave was that January or February, I forget which one. I gave you the history of government experimenting, dropping sicknesses, literally dropping sicknesses, just here in America, not talking about around the world, here in America, dropping sicknesses on his people. Uh, and I've if you look at just many different things, they talk, call it the New World Order, you know what I'm saying, and different things like that. But I mean, just look at different not literature, but just history books and what's on the books now. UN, you know what I'm saying, the UN treaties, the Georgia Guidestones, different things like that. And then you see what's going on now, and it seems to me that these different things are coming into fruition. Different policies that they've talked about for years that people have fought against. It hasn't been widely known. It's not something that's going to be taught to you in your school district, but it's the guys who they call conspiracy theorists, and what I'm saying, they've talked about it for years. They've talked about these type of things for years. I mean, you even heard, I think that was what, Mike Pompeo, if I'm right. I think that was Mike Pompeo. No. Matter of fact, that was Ralph Northam. Now, Ralph Northam, my good boy, now Ralph Northam over here in Virginia, where they were having the gun rally before everything that was going on, and mainstream media tried to report it as it was a white supremacist rally, but it was a gun rally over there. You know what I'm saying? Because defending the Second Amendment, and they were on Ralph Northam's doorstep. Well, he proposed suspending the Constitution. It's, it's just been all type of different stuff. Shutting down personal business, things like that. I want to ask you: Are we at war? And of course, there's that can be perceived in different ways. It could be, war within and war sickness. This now I'm talking about between your world government and the citizens of it. Are we at war? I'm gonna ask that question, and people who are watching, go ahead and leave what you think. If you got any information you want to share with us, drop that in too. I have an article that I'm gonna get into after, we give our thoughts, give different give different numbers, that that is relative to the time when we first went on this lockdown. Also, other different factors. So what do y'all think, man? What do y'all think? Are we at war right now, or is this just natural? Is this a natural thing?
I guess I'll break it down. Uh, I'll try to spin it a couple ways. I think from a stronghold perspective, whether it's a national government or whether it's global government, I guess you would go ahead and group it from a perspective. Uh, we're trending that way. We're definitely trending in that direction. Uh, you know, the unemployment rate was at historic low in February. We were under 3%, according to out of figures they like to put out. We are already from February to April. We're already at 10% in the United States. 10% unemployment rate already. We're talking about 60 days. 60 days, and we've already jumped. What is that? Eight, almost 8%. I mean, that's a big jump. Uh, you know, uh, when you look at it as as the global pandemic that it is, you know, first of all, governments are having problems controlling people, and we know what can happen there. As far as presidents or whatever they call themselves in various other countries, passing laws to control the people. Uh, but the economic part is where you get the government stronghold because you have things like they're offering now, which is a stimulus package to get us through, so to say. I don't, my house is too big to get through on $2,400, but so I wouldn't survive off of that. But what people aren't realizing is that essentially the government's borrowing money from you on money that you really already paying. I mean, when you think about the taxes that you pay over the course of a year, how much of it do you get back? Because you don't get all of it back. You don't get all of it back. So they're already taking, and then they're gonna offer you money up front just to take it back from you later, essentially. So economically, I mean, it's strapping the people, and I don't think people are really truly understanding uh, what that looks like. And maybe it's because you have so many people focused on the here and now. And I gotta survive today. I'm not gonna be concerned about tomorrow. Well, tomorrow, you might be asked out with nothing, and then what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're gonna ask again for another handout, which they're going to give at a price, and the prices get steeper and steeper and steeper, and it'll get to a point where if you don't have your I's dotted and your T's crossed, man, the government's gonna own you. I don't care who you are. The government's gonna own you. I don't care if you're individual. I don't care. I mean, small businesses, like the government's offering small businesses packages to stay afloat. Uh, and I mean, most of us that know anything about small businesses know that uh, you know they depend on consumers spending money. Without fail. Like, you got to spend money for small businesses to survive. And think about, if you're a small business and you say, I just want to stay afloat, and you take whatever buyout, whatever package they're offering. What if 2 years from now your business ain't thriving, and you expect the money 2 years from now, and they're like, nah, man, you took the money up front. So if you drown it, you drown it. We'll give you something else, but it'll cost you. It'll cost you. And so I think the economic backlash is going to be the biggest, and it's also has the most unknown factors in it. Because we talk about the new normal, and this particular uh pandemic, I'll use that word, this particular pandemic is going to change things. It's going to change the way we live, how we just kind of move around this earth, not just here but globally. I mean, government's gonna have such a stronghold if people don't start to say. Because think about it, Corey and I were talking about this the other day. If you filed your taxes last year and you did direct deposit, you couldn't turn it down if you wanted to. They're gonna direct deposit it right into your account. So you could say no if you want to. It's already there and they know it. Now those taking a check, uh, you know, I mean, I guess you could say I never cashed it. So but who knows what that'll be like in 2021. They might have been like, well, you should have cashed it. You know what I'm saying? Because we still taking your money. Because now we gotta recoup everything we gave you. Because I mean, it's $1 trillion bill. It was over a trillion, but it's in the trillions. I mean, it's they don't want you to hold on to it and decline their help. Their goal is to force you to take it in a lot of ways. And I don't know globally what's happening as far as you know packages to keep people afloat, things of that nature. But I know here in the United States, I mean, it's gonna get bad. And one of the reports out there is that um, we haven't even peaked out yet. That we haven't even peaked yet. They say it could be sometime in May before we peak. Is what some of the reports are saying. So I mean, who knows when we gonna be able to get back to even a basic sense of what we're accustomed to. And I think that's what maybe people kind of need to take that back and really kind of look at holistically is how do you deal with this going forward? Like that really needs to be looked at. I mean, we look at people crazy that grow their own food and things of that nature. It's for times like this, so they can be self sufficient and not have to depend on other external resources to be able to survive and things of that nature. Uh, it sounds crazy when people talk about it, but when you have situations like this where that may be the only way some people are even able to eat and things of that nature, that's a scary thought process. And I mean, like I said, with the unemployment rate being what it is now, and it's only going to go higher as companies decide that they have to lay people off because they ain't making no money, so they can't pay. And so uh, it's we're in a scary time. We're in a really scary time, and I really feel like people are not taking any of it serious because say this is real. Hey, this is 100% real. The coronavirus is some real ass shit, and you need to take it seriously. Ain't nobody doing it. I ain't gonna say nobody, but you had people that feel like they're invincible. Me personally, I don't know how real it is, but I do understand that you know it's important for me to take the basic precautions. I'm not rolling around with a mask, or anything like that, but if you following the news, the government is talking about mandating it. If you go out of the house, you got to have a mask on.
Mhm.
There's some cities that have already passed their own state legislation to have certain rules in place because uh, national government can do a lot of different things to screw us. State governments will get you because
National,
state government supersede the national government.
yeah, yeah,
And
national.
so,
It's not even if once you hear national, you hear anything that gets passed nationally. I mean, that's a red flag, red alert right there. I mean, everything's been red flag, but I mean, shoot, somebody federal something that's put on a federal level like that's another violation of your
mhm,
amendment your amendment rights. So yeah, so it's on the state that you live in.
mhm.
That's
'Cause
another thing to pay attention. Pay attention to how your state, your city, how your city is operating within these times. To
mhm.
uh,
Yeah, because I mean, like, so I'm glad you said that. Uh, the governor of Missouri ain't really done nothing. He just kind of been sitting back, kind of waiting for things to happen and evolve. But it's so like you have mayors that are stepping in, like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying, as a city. It'll get interesting on who takes, extra precautions, necessary or unnecessary. It'll be interesting to see who does nothing. And just, it's like we just gonna kind of ride and wait this thing out. Uh, like I said, I'm at home, I'm comfortable, for now, I'm working, I'm still bringing in income. I have, ways to get money, if my job decides to say, sayonara, you know what I'm saying? But, I really want people to really understand that, you know how the laws operate, uh, because knowledge is power. And this is a time where you need the knowledge to understand what is, what isn't, what they can, what they can't do, and what you're allowed under what right you have under the law. Because I'm telling you, lockdown is coming. Lockdown is coming. I really do genuinely feel like that. I mean, you have some of your major states and cities already doing it. Got them on curfews and all kind of jazz. So I know they just said that Missouri is probably going to be the next hot spot. So yeah, it's coming. I don't. I'm concerned with the direction. And then you let 45 tell it. This fool then took about 4 coronavirus tests. Every new test that come out, man, he's the first one at the front line. You got these celebrities and athletes that saying they're coronavirus free now, and yeah, it's a doggone mess right now. It's a mess. Rand, let you go ahead and offer your 30 cents digitally, XRP.
Is your mic on? I think your mic's off.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hear you now.
All right. So, honestly, right now, you said you brought up like the 2 trillion thing or whatever, and honestly, I honestly do believe that because Donald Trump has the go ahead. The U.S. has the go ahead to go into the feds. The feds gave the U.S. the go ahead to take as much money as we want, anytime that we want, pretty much. So this little 2 trillion, that's nothing right now. They will most likely go into that thing again and get probably another 2, another 4, another $6 trillion. And what is that going to do to the American dollar? We're going to be our dollar is going to be worth like the Zimbabwe dollar, and the Zimbabwe dollar is not worth a lot of money at all. I mean, damn near is a waste of paper. Waste of paper. You know what I'm saying? So
didn't Zimbabwe, they went up, what happened? He put so much money in it. If the money, everything inflated. I think it was 1,000. I think like 3,000% or something like that.
Yeah,
something crazy.
Yeah, and so once that happens and everything goes up from going to the store to buying takeout and stuff like that, all those prices will go up, and our dollar's worthless. So honestly, that from the little bit of research that I've been doing in crypto over the last couple of weeks, this is pretty much everything that they've been saying is what's happening right now, and they call it the black swan. So this black swan right now is literally giving the government the go ahead to, I'm not gonna say giving the government the go ahead to use all this money that us, China, and a bunch of other people all around the world, because everybody owns the U.S. dollar, because the U.S. dollar was the number one currency. Will it be the number one currency for the time being? I honestly, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's going to be going back to gold. Everybody's going to be going back to silver and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Tangible things that actually hold its weight in gold. No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? So, man, honestly, are we at war? Yes and no at the same time. We're at war. I believe that we're at war with the way that we thought that we could live in this future, but it sacrificed our past. If that makes sense to anybody.
Yeah.
So honestly, the millennials and Gen Zers, whatever they call them, we have to learn how to live like our ancestors lived again. Honestly, that's kind of what it's pushing us back to. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know what they doing with this Facebook. This Facebook stream looks crazy. It's just going real slow. Probably
You,
fucking with it.
you
Probably
use the
messing with
word
it.
use the word war.
Yeah, yeah. Probably exactly what you
That
can't say
wrong.
anything like that. That's how I mean a lot of places, Facebook, YouTube, all of them are. So I mean, just think of that. You know what I'm saying? It's I mean they're doing this it's not, it's not the same as China's, but it's essentially, what I'm saying, it's in that ballpark, the censorship. I mean, you see how they attack the censorship and attack, the alternative. They've been doing that, but I mean, it's really been high during this whole thing, trying to you know, of course they want you to keep it focused on what the media is telling you. And they're gonna. I mean, just the other day, CBS got caught using footage from Italy. And that's not to say there's no deaths or anything like that, but how many times have we done stories and talked about them manipulating different things, manipulate numbers or
A
just
thousand
whatever
and
it is,
one day.
huh?
1,001 day.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
1,001 day, and that's what we just hit on Wednesday, man. That's what we just hit on Wednesday. So 1,001 damn day. Now I want you to take a look at something because I want to ask you: are we still in a position? Did they make the? It's. I mean, of course, no government should have the right. Nobody should have the right to tell you how you should make a living, come into your place in business and threaten you
Mm-hmm.
by the barrel of a gun. But this is for the people, you know what I'm saying, that agree with, everything that they're doing. I see a lot of people. I mean, I've taken so many screenshots because I just want to be able to show people how it's able, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, the Galilean dialect, how people will want, you know what I'm saying? They'll want for them to step in. They'll want a savior. And you got people that want, businesses to be shut down. They want people to be arrested who are out just like at Swope Park. They want people to go in and the cops should go in and get them all because they're just boosting it up. Like you don't know, but you don't know that. You don't know if they're boosting it up. They're only doing that because the news told you that. And that's not to say that's what it is. You got the right to believe whatever you want to believe. But like I always say, you leave that weakness, you leave that opening for, what I'm saying, the devil to say, the sneak through and manipulate any situation. They can manipulate any situation. So say it's not that, and you sit up there pushing for this, and now you're in a situation that you don't want for no reason. And like I said, there's consequences, just like Randy explained, just like Lauren explained, from the economic consequences. You see what this is doing. You know what I'm saying? It's just in our everyday lives. People sitting up there, a lot of people are prepared. A lot of people don't have enough money to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? All the way prepared to survive this. So they're gonna have no choice but to take these checks and whatnot.
It's a public health crisis too.
It changes everything. Got you eating out of the palm of their hand. I want you to take a look at the story from USA Today. Can y'all see my screen?
It's taking a second to
It's
load
getting
up.
there. It's getting there. Yeah, go ahead, though.
There it is.
There it
I
is.
think,
You good?
I think they screwing with us, man.
Nah, it's right there.
You good?
Okay.
You good?
So you see this? Yeah, man, they screwing with us, man. I'm gonna blame YouTube, man. Blame the Illuminati. I'm gonna blame the Illuminati. So you see that more than 1,000 in U.S. die in a single day from coronavirus, doubling the worst daily death and toll of the flu. We are currently right now over, and I'm not reading from anything, but we are currently at what's this? Oh, damn. So now we up to 6,000. We're up to 6,000 now, 6,054 and 244,000 confirmed.
Infected, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's just in the US. Yep. And 52,000 worldwide. So look like it, man, because I saw something else, another number. So it looked like it just boosted up.
Yeah.
We're way past China. We're way past China, which was the originator, and they said they basically peaked. Their numbers haven't gone up. Whether that's true or not, who knows? But the big superpowers, the United States, Italy, Spain, the big bad, the big villains of the world. We know their history of these countries like this, and yeah, they're the leading ones. But U.S. has, I mean, the next after that, as far as confirmed cases, is Italy, and that they're at 115,000. So we doubled that in cases. And like I said, I'm pretty sure they're updating the numbers and this and that, and it could be who knows how they're getting the count, who knows how they're getting count and how they're tallying everything. But we're at 1 million worldwide, 52,000 deaths worldwide. I know the guy, Dr. Fauci or whatever his name is, you seeing him, he's been paraded around media. That's the doctor, all the celebrities. You always got to question anything when the celebrities start coming into play. He's been talking, Steph Curry, Trevor Noah, and all those guys. Let me just think about this thing. Think about before I go any further. Think about the power of celebrity. Have y'all seen the celebrity? Have y'all got any good information? Have y'all got any helpful information from a celebrity? Anybody on this panel? Let me know if you've heard one helpful piece of information from a celebrity.
Steph Curry doing master classes.
Huh?
Steph Curry doing master classes.
What the hell is master classes? What? I saw Steph Curry on. He's sitting up there drinking wine through his face mask or whatnot. He's been acting a fool on live, and there's been some interesting lives. Everybody's DJing. Little Boosie's acting a damn fool.
I saw Manny and Scott Storch went in yesterday.
Yeah, so they've been keeping the bread and circus going. They've been keeping the bread and circus as they called it back in Rome. They've been keeping that going for everybody. But I mean, has one celebrity, has one NBA player told you what was their process? What did they take? Maybe I missed it. Hopefully somebody out there can tell me if they heard anything.
Nah, because a lot of the celebrities or the teams are reporting information. You don't hear celebrities do anything, or athletes. You hear like the teams or the organization, whatever have you want to word it. Like that's where the information is coming out, and it's really, it's just general information.
Because they've been going live too. They've been going live. Donovan Mitchell's been live.
Yeah, saying I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Me and Rudy Gobert hugged it out, man.
So it's like, what's the does it go away by itself? Did you take a drug? Did you take a vaccine? What is the process? What did they have you going through? They haven't told you none of this.
Well, because if it's that it's a virus, ain't much you can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get some vitamin C and some hot tea, and what your grandma say, go lay down and take a nap.
Right, but if it's that, tell the people that. But then again, is anybody even questioning? Are they asking these questions, or are they sitting up there still asking about stats and different shit like that? It's just, you haven't got anything. You haven't heard anything. You haven't heard anything from the celebrities. You haven't heard a story of any of them being super sick or or whatnot, because they're the ones, they're gonna have access to the money and different things like that. They got the testing. Meanwhile, millions of Americans still haven't received this testing. So
Probably need to reach out to Cat. Reach out to Cat, man. You'll probably get a business.
you said who?
Carl Anthony Town. You know, his parents were in bad shape.
Right.
Or are in bad shape. I don't know if I don't know what it is now, but I know he said that, you know, his parents were in bad shape and all that type of jazz. Now, you know, I mean, but see, that's the thing though, you know, successful people don't tell you their secrets to how they got successful. Like they don't tell you, you know, and so why would they tell you how they got better? Because then that's gonna put them in the same position as you. And they ain't worked that hard to be. To them, the thought process is, I didn't work that hard to be in the same position as the regular guy. You know what I'm saying? So it makes total sense that they not sharing. Should they share? I mean, it would it would be helpful. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's, I mean, I wasn't being facetious. Well, I kind of was, but you know, Trump is taking 3 tests. No, he's come out and said 3 separate occasions as they release new vaccines, he's taking another test. You know, because I guess the latest one, you know, they can detect a lot quicker, whatever the case may be. So, you know, and that's what I was saying earlier when I said this is also a healthcare crisis. You know what I'm saying? They're basically robbing Peter to pay Paul right now. You know what I'm saying? They're trying all these different things to see if it works. So they trying this medication. So now the lupus people ain't got their medication now because it ain't no more. You know what I'm saying? You got people in hospitals, and I mean, hell, all these people with masks on, man. And I'm like, half this shit probably ain't even medically approved. You might as well go on and just got the bandana out the closet, man. If you gonna do what you did, you know, I mean, it it's crazy. Like, I mean, hell, hospitals are damn near having to. They're to the point where hospitals are shutting down or reducing hours and things of that nature because they just can't handle it. You know, hell, my wife's job, you know, she works with kids, and they basically was like, shit, if you want to, we can go ahead and cancel you for the next 2 months. If you want to be canceled, you know, they reduced the hours from all day. Now they only open for 7 hours. And it's crazy, man. It's affecting everything. It's not just one thing. This is affecting everything. You know what I'm saying? This is affecting our ability to provide for our households. This is affecting our ability to uh, medically take care of our families. You know, I mean, it's healthcare. I mean, it's great that we have it, but you can't use it because you can't get to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? They've had to call doctors and nurses out of retirement. I mean, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? This is the school system. I tell you what I learned about. One of the things I've learned is that these kids ain't learning nothing. Nothing.
No, they're not.
You know what I'm
They're
saying?
not.
My kids get up at 9:30 in the morning to start school, and they done by 11:30. So I'm like, what y'all do the other 6 hours? You know, the day. Now I understand it's, you know, it's not one-on-one where it's a little, you know, smaller classrooms. I'm like, hell, they need to. I wish we had enough teachers to where they now seeing what I'm experiencing just personally. I'm like, we probably do need to go down to smaller class sizes. What the fuck does that mean? We need more teachers, you know, things of that nature. So this is having reverberations across every facet of life across the globe. You know what I'm saying? Like it's now we focus on our home soil as we should, you know what I'm saying? Because this is where we live, but you know, on a global perspective, it's the same type of effect. And you get back to media, and who do you trust? China saying we flattened our curve, other media saying they lying. What I'm saying? They ain't flattening their curve. What I'm saying? There's more people sick. They just ain't reporting. Hell, it took us a minute to report. What I'm saying? Now, honestly, it took the U.S. a minute to report. We already knew there was cases. What I'm saying? It took us a minute to report. So, uh, but what I mean, and like I said, Corey, and you and I discussed this the other day. I said, man, this is some of the stuff that Trump is saying and some of his actions. Man, this is the same shit Hillary did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, his whole since he ran for office, Trump has been poking at media, just slowly ingraining in people. You can't trust the media. What I'm saying? So what are people starting to do now? Trusting Trump.
I had to
You know
bring
what
it
I'm
up
saying?
because it's not it was screwing up on the screen.
What it say?
No, I had to bring it back, so I had to bring the
Oh,
story.
okay.
So, man, it's
Yeah,
screwing up on the screen, man. They
yeah,
can't get enough stuff. Can't get enough. I guess it's might be too much on the computer running the software and this. So who knows what
yeah.
it
But
is? But
but
I
it's yeah, it's crazy though.
mean, you gotta. It's predicting. When I was at the doctor, I went to the doctor. They predicted that about 1 million to die. They're still throwing that number out. They're saying that's if people don't self quarantine. What they're saying now is up to 200,000. 200,000 could die with the self quarantine. I know some people that have had it. They went to the not had it, but they had different symptoms and things like that that seemed consistent with it. Went to the doctor before all of this was going on. Doctor couldn't figure out what was happening with them. Nothing. Doctor wouldn't figure out what was happening. Um, but they were able to beat it. They would take different medicine, and they were able to beat it. But like I said, nobody knows what's going on. This is something that's unseen. They say,
Apple cider
coronavirus has been
vinegar.
around for a while, but they say this is a mutated form. This is one that's put together. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than SARS, the MERS, and all that. Like I said, they do stuff like that in laboratories. That's why I ask, are we at war? But I want to take a look at some of these numbers now. This article is interesting because it goes through many different many different numbers. You know what I'm saying? As far as deaths, we're only at well, that's not only that's so many. That's a lot, but the flu. When you look at the flu, and I said this before, and they explain this in the article, but I've said this before. I don't know if I said it on the show or I may have posted it. I forget. I'll be going through so much information, but since September, man, 34,000 people have died from the flu. It's 34,000 people. So that's what we're in April now. It's about 7 months. But those numbers were got last month. I had those numbers last month. So 6 months? So what's that? A good 5,000 people per month. Think about all the people that die from cancer every day. We're talking about thousands. We're talking about thousands of people. It shows in this article, wish I could show it to you, but it shows in the article that on lung cancer alone, so everybody smoking blunt, smoking weed. That's one of the main things this thing is affecting. Before I keep going, but so I want to advise y'all. It's up to y'all. Y'all do what the hell you want. Smoke whatnot. I've put that stuff down, put it on hold for right now, because talking about a respiratory infection, man. And it might be on hold and it might be permanent, man. That I put that shit down, man. I don't have no addiction like a lot of you y'all have, man. Like y'all got addictions. Y'all just don't want to say it, man. But I like to partake in that, man. But you talking about a respiratory, man. That ain't nothing to deal with. A respiratory infection, and you talking about something that's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, supposed to have the potency that this virus has. this ain't nothing to play with. So you want to make sure that you at your strongest. But like I said, 433 people, 433 people a day. Not a week, not a month, not a year. 433 people a day die from lung cancer. That's almost, I did the numbers earlier, don't have a calculator or anything. That's over 100,000 people a year dying just from lung cancer alone. We're not talking about everything else, breast cancer, everything else. It's weird that NFL put the emphasis on that breast cancer. Remember we talked?
Yeah.
Less people dying from breast cancer. It's actually three times people dying from lung cancer than breast cancer. It could, but like I said, nobody asked for any of it. But a lot of people choose to smoke, so maybe that's why. But I think that was more of a to get the female fans along. But either way, it all needs a light shined on all of it. Not just that. I mean, shit, there's more. Got the flu. Of course, I said the flu. No shit. I mean, yeah, just go off of those numbers in general. Just go off those two numbers right there. Like I said, that alone, the flu season has recorded 383 deaths per day. That's what the CDC figures show from this year. You know what I'm saying? The record was 508 per day during 2017-2018 flu season. That's what you're talking about over, you know what I'm saying, crossover into another year, man. And there was no shutdown, no lockdowns or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, did they make the right decision? Did they make the right decision? How do they know how did they know exactly what it's gonna do? You know what I'm saying? How do they know that, you know what I'm saying, it won't take its course? And, where are they getting these numbers? And how are we supposed to believe them? You know what I'm saying? Because we're at their mercy. We're always at the news. We're always at the scientists. It's always somebody to bring up, well, the scientist said. The scientist is a person just like me and you. So how do we know these things? Everything that we're getting is being fed to us. And so now you're able to, people going that they want to cut hair, they want to run their restaurants, personal restaurants, this and that. And like I said, people coming in and not restaurants, but other essential businesses. All businesses are essential because everybody's in it for the money. Everybody's in this for the money to, make a living and feed their children. So it's all essential. They try to tell you what's essential, what's non-essential. They got some places, I mean, fuck, McDonald's isn't essential in a time like this. It's probably going to get you, it's going to lead to you. It's going to lead to you falling from this coronavirus. The coronavirus itself is not the killer. It attacks the immune system. Mm-hmm. That's what they say. It attacks the immune system. It attacks the lungs, the mucus, the buildup, and things like that. So if you sit up there eating Mickey D's and different things like that, you think that's going to help? You think that's going to help you? I mean, did they do the right thing?
I'm okay being non-essential.
As a lot of people are. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. Shit, I wish I was fucking non-essential right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Make some money. But I gotta go out there and get it, man. I mean, where does the line stop? I guess that's the question I'm asking. Where does the line stop? And I'm asking this just to the people. You know what I'm saying? Anybody viewing this, man, where does the line stop? You just, is give your government too much power. Look what they can do to you. You don't even know when you.
Oh, you broke up. You broke up. Damn. I don't know if his computer froze or what. But let's give him a couple seconds. Hello.
Dan Rather reporting here. we've got interference. We're gonna go back to the studio. Yeah, he done.
Yeah, his computer kinked out. All right, man. So,
He's
uh,
trying.
you say you hear him? Okay, I think that
Ah,
was
he fell off all the way.
there.
Oh,
Nah,
There
he,
you go. There you go. There you
there
go.
he is.
here they are, man. That Illuminati, man. That Illuminati, man. Nah. Yeah, well, you know, they throw you into chaos. Even hospitals, you know, local places, man. You look at these local places, and this is where reliability on each other comes into play. We definitely gotta rely on each other. You know what I'm saying? I know we gotta look out for ourselves, look out for our family, do our parts, but you know, definitely gotta come together because look at how easy, man. Look at how easy it is when you got people going to hospitals. They're reporting in the city that the hospital is in just dire chaos and everything's going on, and then you got people going to the hospital and say, "Well, let me take a look at it myself,"
Right.
and it looks completely calm up there. It looks completely calm up there. So how do you know? You really don't know what to fucking believe, man.
Mm-hmm.
Really don't know what to believe. Um, it's this is a crazy time. Um, need to come together. Y'all need to figure out how to, you know what I'm saying, start, you know, get into farming, start growing, like you said, get into farming, growing your own shit. You gotta start brainstorming and planning because it's not gonna go back to normal.
Nah.
It's not gonna go back to normal. Like you said, from economically, a way of living, everything. A lot of people are wanted to. They really wish it could, but the simple fact is, man, you gotta. This is gonna change a lot of stuff. The main thing I hope it changes is you guys' mindset. You understand that you know, like some of the shit, especially the shit that's been fed to us as black folks through media and different things. Most of that shit doesn't fucking matter at all, man. It's all bullshit. So, you know, I really ain't got nothing else to say. Um, I want to ask you to just ask one more time. Like I said, are we at war? And is this even necessary? Dude, is this even necessary? I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man, that nobody, you know, people look at me, they look at the way I think is, you know, I definitely am anti-government, and I'm an anarchist. The word anarchist is misrepresented word. And they think of anarchy, they think of just turmoil, fires, burning, riots, and things like that. Let me ask you a question, Randy.
What's up?
Do you think the next human being has? Do you think the next human being has governing over you? Like the next human being, another human being has position, you know what I'm saying, over your life to tell you, you know what I'm saying, how you to live, breathe, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to survive, protect yourself. You think any human being walking this planet has that jurisdiction over you?
No, but they do have.
No.
They do have the well, they're not the right, but they do have the possibility that they could take your life. So, but everything else,
But how do they do that? What do they do? How do they implement that?
Do somebody else. Most of the times, to other people in fear. So,
No. If you decide that you don't want to follow that human being
mm-hmm.
that came through on this planet the same way you did, you know what I'm saying? That's allegedly because we don't know who some of these motherfuckers could be aliens for all you know. But came through the same way you did, and you giving them the power to play God over your life. So you say no, I don't want to do that. How do they implement that?
Oh, they use their quote unquote power to everybody else to get you to take you up or to take you down. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a cult. It's like a cult.
Hey, let's keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. They do it through violence, through the threat of through gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You lock them because they're gonna say we lock you away, but if you don't go through that, what's the next step? They got their gun.
Yep.
Military force, police force. They implement any law. The police are there to serve the law, to law enforcement. That's why they're called law enforcement. They're not even, the police aren't even obligated to respond to, you know what I'm saying, like we talked, I think we talked about this last week, you know what I'm saying, the case that they had, what was that, it was a news story, but it brought it up, you know what I'm saying, there was a case that, you know, an officer, woman was, no, I think it was the kid was being abused and ended up, you know, I believe dying, and they tried to sue the officer or tried to hold them responsible, and it was, you know, found out that the officers, they don't have any obligation to come save you when shit goes down. They have no obligation at all to come save you at all. And that's their right, but at the same time, we should have the rights to defend our damn selves and protect our families. So you do believe that another human being doesn't have doesn't have God-given jurisdiction over you, right?
Nope.
That makes you an anarchist.
Well, I mean,
that's the definition of an anarchist.
I'm not gonna say I'm not.
That is what an anarchist is.
Right.
It's that simple. So anybody else who believes that or whatever, that's what you are. You're an anarchist. So you're in the same boat as me, buddy. So nah.
Yeah, man.
Get ready. We got some more. We got some more coming. You got anything else you want to say?
Yeah. Before we roll off of here, man, I just want to. Yesterday, I just want to. Or not yesterday, but the 31st, man, was the 1 year memorial of my man Nipsey Hussle, man. So rest in peace, and Nip. And honestly, I know we haven't done get it off your chest in a minute, but I just had to get something on my chest. So everybody that was the you know what I'm saying, that they was doing the Sage when Nipsey died, they was playing all Nipsey's music. I truthfully didn't hear none of you guys yesterday or the other day. I truthfully didn't hear none of y'all. I seen a couple posts of some people that when Nipsey passed away that affected them deeply, like it affected other people, or like it affected his real fans and stuff like that. But I did get an inbox the other day, and it was like, why didn't you put nothing up about Nipsey, even though you were when he passed away, you was talking about Nipsey this, Nipsey that. Mind you, I did put up stuff about Nipsey on my Instagram and on my Facebook, but like it's little things like that, man. It's just like Nipsey's been inspired me, but last year when he passed away, it forced me to become what I know I can be. You know what I'm saying? Cause I got a new spot now. You know what I'm saying? And last year I didn't have a spot. Well, I had a spot, but I had an apartment. You know what I'm saying? I have something that belongs to me right now. You know what I'm saying? And hard work, dedication, all this shit's paid off. And I just gotta say one more thing, man. I also said Tuesday, I said what I said on Facebook. I said if you have a tribe, you know what I'm saying? If you have a tribe and you call yourself a king and you're not planning them, or you're not getting them ready for the future, how can you call yourself a king? So just go ahead and sit on that. And this has been another episode of Word on the Ave, man. You have anything else?
No, you don't have I want to say something about the Nipsey. You don't have any obligation. It's people's infatuation with celebrity and different things like that. You don't have any obligation to post anything or whatnot. You honor everybody by keeping their legacy, by keeping their values.
Facts.
The flesh is just the flesh. The flesh will always die off, but we don't know what happens in the afterlife, but we do know how we keep the stuff going here. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's gonna come up naturally if you want to put that up. I got stuff. I got people that died, people who are close to me. You don't see me posting up, you know what I'm saying, every day and posting, you know what I'm saying, every day to death day to stuff like that. A lot of times that stuff hurt. I don't even want to remember that at times. You know what I'm saying? And I got the right to fucking do that. You know what I'm saying? I got the right to do that. So you don't have no obligation. What you do is, you know what I'm saying, you keep the dream alive. And like I said, you want to keep the name out, scream it out whenever you feel like it. But you don't have an obligation because he died that day or whatnot
Right.
to put something up. It's just that's all bullshit. That's all the theatrics that people like. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. People focused on theatrics and bullshit when you got a real life problem in front of you. Whether motherfuckers think it's a problem or not, it's a problem.
Yep.
It's a problem. If you good, then you good. That's good. But the world's not good. The world is not fucking good. I've always said that. Yeah. Even if USA was being good, you talking about over there in Philippines, they talking about shooting down citizens who leave their house.
Yep.
Talking about shooting down citizens who leave their house, different things like that. We talked about the shit that was going on in China before, and now you see that the China's problem has swept over to us. Mm-hmm. Anything that can happen anywhere is that means it can happen to you. Yeah. That possibility always leans there. So you talking about real life problems, and people sitting up there DM talking about why you ain't talking about Nipsey. That's foolish shit, man. It's foolish shit, man.
I mean,
you know, focus on, you know what I'm saying, you should be talking about how you can, when you're getting in touch with a person, you should be talking about how you can contribute. What can you bring to the table? If you ain't talking about what you can bring to the table to, you know what I'm saying, to each other or whatnot, I mean, right now, man, you ain't really much else you should really be fucking talking about, because
that's true.
Brace your seatbelts. Brace your seatbelts. This coronavirus shit is only the beginning.